Hey there, I'm Ashley, and this is New Day with Ashley. If you're looking for inspiration to make a difference and create lasting impact, then you're in the right place. Get ready to be encouraged by the stories of my guests who have taken risks, overcome challenges, and created opportunities. It's time to make the most of your new day. I love the quote, "Every flower blooms in its own time." And my guest today is the perfect example of blooming in her own time. Christy Tehven is the founder and owner of a nationally recognized flower shop, Love Always Floral. As a business owner, wife, and mother of three, Christy and her company have truly blossomed and are bringing beauty and wonder to the communities they serve. Hi, Christy. Welcome to New Day with Ashley. I'm so happy for you to be here.
Happy to be here as well. It's so good to see you.
And the flowers, I have to mention, come from Love Always Floral. Yeah. Beautiful arrangement. Designer's choice. Mm-hmm. So I love them. So tell me a little bit about who's Christy, who's Love Always Floral.
Oh, yeah. I'll start with Christy.
Yes.
And then go into Love Always Floral. So Christy, coming up on 35, and I've got 3 little kiddos and a husband who I adore, and own a
Did you know that we went to school together? Your husband and I?
I mentioned that this morning.
Yeah.
When I was getting ready.
Pretty sure like 5th
about
grade.
my day. Yeah. He said, "Who's it with?" And I was like, he goes, "Oh, I went to school with her."
Yeah.
Which I feel like he went to school with everybody, but you know.
Way back. Yeah.
So 3 little kiddos. We live just south of downtown, and both kind of we just have a little small orbit that we live in, and life's pretty surrounded by kids and work and family.
And they are so cute.
Thanks. Yeah, they're wonderful. But
do they love flowers?
They do, actually. It's so adorable. So we'll go to the flower shop and like play with them, or Harper, my oldest, who's 4, will ask for her. She says vase, but calls it a base of flowers. so I'll bring them home, and they always smell it, and now they help me plant it. So it's so fun to like see them take interest in it.
Yeah.
And realize what mommy does all day. So it's
how
really
neat.
Cool to say that. So grew up in a small town, went to Concordia for school, and then worked kind of in corporate marketing world for a while.
And we worked together, actually.
Yes,
yeah.
we worked together. And but then just was led down a different path. I worked at a flower shop for a short time and just really like fell in love with the purpose of flowers and the meaning of flowers, and the design, the art piece that it's made handcrafted for you for this special occasion. So the best part of my job is getting to be a part of people with their special moments. And so that's kind of how Love Always fit was Love Always is how my grandmother signed her cards and how my mother signed her cards. And so it just seemed to fit for the mission.
Love Always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love Always. Like, we're here for your best moments, your worst moments, the most vulnerable of times, and want to support you in that. And so, so that's kind of how the flower shop came to be. And we've gotten to have such wonderful clients and customers and partners, and it's kind of grown from there.
Yeah. So it wasn't always a passion then?
No. I mean, I liked creative things, but I would have never have guessed out of college I'd be doing a flower shop.
And it wasn't like it wasn't in your family. So working at one, it just really inspired you.
Yeah, it did. And I looked at purchasing it, and it just didn't work out. And then went back to my job and kept going for a while. And it's almost like you just got like this picking, like
this nudge.
Well, yeah,
kept coming back.
Like what, there's maybe you have to look back at this again. So I actually took a week off. It was in November, right before Thanksgiving, and read Firestarter Sessions by Danielle
I remember
Clark.
this conversation, actually.
Because we've talked about Danielle Clark.
Yes.
I love her so much. And so read Firestarter Sessions, which I highly recommend. But I recommend if you read it, like, take some space to yourself. It's hard to, like, jump in and out of. But I was lucky enough to go to a cabin in the Northwoods and just, like, hang out there for 3 days and dive into it. And came back and set up a meeting with my boss and told her I was done. And so and she was so gracious and so wonderful, and just said, like, I'm not in the right seat in the bus, and I need to do this. So,
So was that pretty scary?
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, did you know, okay, I'm going to buy this flower shop? Is that what it was? Or was it, I'm going to start one?
I'm going to start one.
Okay.
Yep. That was the kind of the jumping point of it on
Wow.
this is what I'm going to try, and we'll see how it goes. You know,
So that was a huge risk. You're leaving this like stable job you've been at and going into this like new territory.
Yeah.
So what were some of like those challenges that you first experienced?
Money.
First or still? Yeah, no.
I mean, I had to cut down on habits.
Sure.
Which was actually really cleansing for me in a weird way. I loved going shopping before, and then when I started the shop, it wasn't really an option. So
Sure. Yeah. No more retail therapy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I just, you figure out different ways, and it didn't matter because I was just so much happier and so much more myself that I didn't. Those cravings for those things weren't really there. It's a weird experience. So that was a little difficult. Also, just starting it by yourself. I had always been used to working with teams. And so when I was on my own, I didn't have a lot of people to talk to. I remember going to the Prairie Den and like bringing my lunch.
Yeah.
And my
Hopefully I
laptop.
can meet someone
Maybe I'll
here.
make a friend. And
I get it. I do get it. Yes.
And going there and being like, okay, so it's just, you're figuring things out as you go. You're the tech IT person, you're the janitor, you're the, and so, and it started out in my house. So, you were at home working on flowers, till midnight or wherever. But I look back at those days and I wouldn't change them for the world. And of course there's always the challenges of hiring people and getting your accounting set up and figuring out, how to set up a business and what kind of leader you want to be.
Right. How do you do all those things? So was there anyone, or was there some like advice that you were given, like, that you could share with us of like, what was the best advice you received to
a couple
help
things
you?
Come to mind. And I had so many great, it's crazy. A lot of my first customers were entrepreneurs who just like bought right away and just saw
they get
the
it.
value.
Yeah.
Of like cash in right away, supporting the business by purchasing their product was so helpful. And I still feel so loved by that. Yeah. I had a mentor say, she was funny. She's like, just hire out the things that are going to put you in jail. I was like, okay.
That's very good advice.
Yeah. So, and I did, accounting, payroll, taxes, all those things. I'm not good at. I tried doing accounting for like the first month and it was awful. And then I had to pay someone more to redo all my accounting. I set up. I barely passed accounting in college, so I don't know why.
It was not my favorite classes either. Mm-hmm.
So, just getting those systems set up as the groundwork. But then also I had someone just say like, culture starts on day one, no matter what, like set that first and let that be a huge priority. And that's really been a part I value about our team and what we do on celebrating the little things, celebrating the wins and being there for each other. And that's something I've held on to for a long time, and like hopefully it'll keep going.
Love always,
Mm-hmm.
So I love that. And I think, you do a really good job of like culture. And I think that's probably helped you attract the right people when you hired.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So when did you hire your first person?
Teammate. When I started in January, my first person started in May. So I was lucky enough where, in wedding industry, you kind of know what sales you have coming in advance because the weddings are booked in advance. So I knew I could support 1 to 2 people for that first summer. They came to my house and we worked from there, and it kind of kept growing from that. So that's when I had 6 months to kind of just figure it out. Yeah. And then I actually had my first person approach me. She messaged on Facebook. Said, I love what you do, and are there any openings? And we got to meet, and it was a wonderful, wonderful thing. So,
wow. So, walk us through a little bit of, starting a flower shop, I guess, events, deliveries, like what all services do you have? Like, what does that look like?
Yeah. So we primarily focus on events and weddings. That's our big part of our business. And then we do daily deliveries as well. So those are kind of the 3 buckets we talk about as like corporate events, weddings, and then daily deliveries. And so we break that out into different parts of the team, and it goes in seasons too. Like we're getting ready to ramp up for wedding season. Right. And I love each of them individually. They all have so much purpose behind them for different ways. And so like daily deliveries, we just like cry with our customers or like celebrate with them on the happy moments. And so it's that's been such a blessing to be a part of, and really connects us to the mission. And then I love weddings and getting to be a part of people's special days.
So do you have a favorite event that you have done?
Boy. You know, that's a great question. There
I'm curious. Yeah.
You know, there's been some corporate events that have been so fun to be a part of, just as far as them trusting us with our experience. And
you've done some big events.
Yeah.
And big weddings.
Yeah. Yep. And, you know, there's none in particular that are my favorite necessarily, just because they all have their own specialty to them. But it's so fun when you have just that trusted partnership. Like West Acres has been such a wonderful partner of ours for different installations and things. So when we meet with them, it's this like total brainstorming moment, and they're open to our ideas. We're excited to hear their ideas, and it's so fun to see what we can do for our community together. So there's a lot of fun parts about it. So I can't say a favorite.
Yeah. How about a favorite flower?
Ooh, yeah. I would say,
as you look at these,
I know
it's
not
one?
in there. This guy?
Yeah.
That's a ranunculus.
Okay. Beautiful.
These double tulips, though, I'm loving them for spring.
That's what they are.
Yeah,
double tulip.
Double tulip.
Wow.
So I'm teetering between a sweet pea and a lisianthus, both super airy and not in that bouquet. But we work a lot on layering floral and dimension and creating that airspace between them. And so they are like our high flyers, or our fluffy flowers on the top. And so I love letting those guys just kind of like have their own space way up top of the arrangements or bouquets.
Yeah. And I think that's like such a unique thing, because it is an art. Like I tried putting flowers in. I'm like, I don't know how to do this really. I'm like, how I could not have come up with this. Like beautiful. So
well, and I didn't design that. One of my teammates did. So they did a fantastic job.
But you've set the bar of like, in that culture, but also probably do you encourage them to kind of step into their own?
Yeah, we try and teach that, there's steps and processes that we go along, but everyone gets there in their own way. So whether you start with, your line flowers, or you start with your roses, or, however you get there, let it be your own art experience. And it's, when you get designer choices that come in from our customers, everyone designs something different. You never see anything that's the same. So it's so fun. One of the most rewarding things about the role is watching teammates just soar and learn the craft and the design, and love on our customers. And so that is like so incredible to watch. So
yeah, that's awesome. And now you moved out of your original space.
Yeah.
So I mean, like the growth too that you're experiencing is incredible. And when did you start?
2016.
2016. Okay. So now you've moved in Fargo, and that's still kind of under construction.
Yes.
And then you added in another location.
In Bismarck.
Yeah. So about a year ago.
Yeah. There's an awesome partner in Bismarck, Janelle, who's fantastic and has just taught me a lot about business. And it's been so fun to go through this journey with her. And so she started a year and a half ago, and she came to me and wanted to volunteer with Love Always. She wanted to start her own flower shop. And I'm like, that's awesome. I had met her from before. She's incredible. And she came to volunteer with us, and it was so great. And then I checked in with her in like December, and I was like, hey, how's your flower shop coming? And she's like, I don't know. I'm just not sure. And then we sat on it for a little bit, and so finally brought the idea of, well, if you want to start Love Always there in Bismarck, you can, but if you want to do your own thing, do that,
Right.
I'll support you either way, but this could be a path for you. And so she thought about it and went for it. So I wasn't looking to expand, but I love her, and I love what she does and the values that she has. And it's just been so rewarding on both sides, just to watch her thrive and dominate and have so much fun. And now she's hired a team and create that culture within her team. And so it's been so cool.
Oh, I love that. And I think just to commend you of like what you have done too, of like, I'm not worried about her starting her own, but rather encourage her and help her.
Yeah.
And then to now come alongside.
Yeah, I love that come alongside version of leadership. I don't know. It works for me. I don't know if it works for my teammates. I try and ask them. And it's the hardest part is, wondering if you're supportive enough or there for them enough and being a good leader and boss. And I want them to be the best versions of them or themselves when they come to work every day. So how can I make that happen? And that's I kind of consider that one of my main roles is making sure our teammates are happy and healthy at work, outside of work, and loving who they are and what they do. And so coming alongside with Janelle has been so fun along the way.
And I think also you had mentioned about like finding the right seat on the bus. So in your teammates too, it sounds like you do a really good job of like putting them in the right seat.
Try to.
Yeah.
I hope they would say the same. I love them so much. But yeah, we want them to be thriving. And even if it's not at Love Always, like where can we get you that you're going to be a great, happy, healthy person? So
such a good leader quality.
Well, I don't know about that. We try, but we work really hard, and they work so hard for our customers, and so I feel really loved by that, and because they do that, I want to just give them the world. So,
So what would you say like sets you Love Always Floral apart from another flower shop maybe? Yeah.
There's plenty of great flower shops out there, and people can go to whoever, makes them feel happy and makes them feel loved as a customer. We strive to give the best customer service and the best, and just kind of like help them through whatever process they're looking for. And so hopefully our customer service makes them happy. And then we just always try to keep learning new designs and keep learning new techniques and different styles and different vases and different florals. So hopefully we're bringing in some different types of flowers and things that people hadn't seen before. So when they receive this gift, it is really like, wow, I just want to look at that all day.
It's so unique.
Yeah.
And I think, you do a very good job of bringing that. Like, are you able, is it a challenge to get all these different flowers to North Dakota?
Sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes.
People want a certain flower in the middle of January, and you're like, we will search for that.
Yeah, I will search for that. Sometimes they get private flights,
Wow.
It's
crazy.
So, they're usually, you can source them somewhere, but you just got to do the right digging to find it. So,
all right. So what would be like one piece of advice or encouragement that you could give someone else that's, making or looking to make an impact, like you have, make a difference in the community?
Yeah. I'll follow what your passions are and just run towards that. Like after taking a little leap to start it, it was more risky to stay where I was than to even try something new, just for the health of myself and who I was as a person. And so, I've said this before and some other things, but like believe in yourself more than anybody else. And so go towards it, and it doesn't have to happen overnight. I think that sometimes people look and they're like, oh, wow, I could never do that. And it's like, well, you
have to read the book and then I just have to go.
Yeah. You just have to take a baby step one step at a time. Like buy your URL and then set up a website and then put some pictures on that website. It's baby steps, one thing at a time, but find the thing that makes you soar, and like the world needs that energy, and it's a better place for it. You're a better person and you're shining so much light on other people, and I think the world could use a little bit of that. So find what makes you so happy and go after it, and one step at a time. It doesn't have to be all at once. So
I love that. And you are spreading love, joy, beauty, wonder, like all of it to the community too. And just love what you are doing. So thank you so much for joining me today for New Day.
Yeah.
I feel like fresh flowers, a new day. And I just appreciate you taking your time.
Yeah. Thank you for having me and learning a little bit more about us. So.
Right. Thank you.
Yep.
Wow, what a great episode. Thank you so much for joining me. It's always so inspiring sharing these stories. Remember to like and subscribe below to the YouTube channel to stay caught up with new episodes of New Day with Ashley. And make sure to follow New Day with Ashley and KFGO on all social medias. The links are in the description. I'll see you in the next episode.